Good morning. It is on a Friday. I hope this is connected. It is the end of another week. I want to thank y'all for joining me today, whether you watch me live or you watch me later. Just know that I value and I appreciate you. I'm not going to lie, I'm not feeling the best right now. I laid down after taking a shower, the workout shower. The after workout showers are the best. But I laid down under the cool fan, and next thing I know, I've got a cold. So bear with me if I cough. I've been sucking on a cough drop. I've got my hot green tea right here. So I'm doing my own emotional well-being. I'm doing my own self-care because I want to be here today and I want to be here with y'all. And again, I appreciate all the love, all the follows, all the likes. And so today's topic is about emotional well-being. Now, I know last week we kind of sort of talked about it. It was more of a Freestyle Friday, and I talked about the lessons that I had learned when I took my self-love trip. And a lot of that began around emotional well-being. And I know it's really easy to say that I'm emotionally taking care of myself, but a lot of us will invest more time in working out, and our physical self will focus on what our exterior looks like, what my house looks like, or what shoes I have on, what car I drive. But we won't invest that same amount of energy into our own emotional well-being. And really being able to have that groundedness, that feeling of wholeness within yourself is the key, because what's in you is going to come out of you. And so if you're not feeling good and confident, if you're not in check emotionally, mentally, spiritually, then the physical and everything else will show. So really want to spend this time talking about what is emotional well-being. So let's dive in. Emotional well-being refers to the ability to experience. Oh, I'm sorry, my light went out and I don't know why, but okay. You can still see me. Okay. It refers to the experience, the ability to experience, understand, and manage emotions effectively, leading to a positive overall state of mind and sense of satisfaction with life. It involves recognizing and accepting our emotions, coping with the stress, and adapting to life's challenges. Essentially, it's the ability to feel good and function well emotionally. So, emotional well-being is just like, oh, I'm happy today. No, emotional well-being refers to that even when life's challenges happen, even when things aren't going the way I think they should, I have the ability through different techniques to be able to manage my emotions, that I can label them, know what they are, know how I feel, and then be able to make decisions based on that. So there are key ways in which we know how to manage our emotions. The first step is recognizing and understanding our emotions. Being aware of your own emotions and the emotions of others is a key part of emotional well-being. It's important that we know who we are, because how we feel about ourselves may be wrong because we interpret our emotions. And so sometimes when we are like, I feel sad or I feel certain ways, it's really, how do you feel about yourself? Understanding that when to manage our emotions, we have to recognize them and understanding them. Where do they come from? Where did I get this idea that if I'm sad, I'm weak? Where did I get this notion that because I'm angry, that because I'm frustrated, that all of a sudden I'm an angry woman or angry black woman, angry white woman, I'm labeled as this because I feel this way? When you know who you are and you know your emotions, because that's the key. Who am I? Because my feelings don't label me. Now I have feelings, but when I know who I am, I'm not going to I can recognize that this emotion of sadness is just that. And I can identify where that sadness comes from, but that doesn't make me a sad person. I can feel angry, I can feel frustrated, but that doesn't make me an angry or frustrated person. We have to allow that when we recognize and understand our emotions, we're able to let the emotions come and go through us, but they don't become us. So then after we recognize and understand our emotions, how do we manage them? And that includes developing healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress, anger, sadness, and other difficult emotions. Managing our emotions, again, requires for us to recognize, acknowledge, and label your feelings. And that can be done through deep self-awareness, again, knowing who you are, mindfulness, and varied techniques like journaling, taking deep breathing, seeking support. One of the things that when I was a therapist, and I still use now as a life coach, is I use a feelings chart. I was trying to figure out a way to upload this for the show, but I can't. But this is a feelings chart, and that I've used many, many years. But it shows the feelings, and because these are natural feelings that I'm hurt, and so, and then with a feelings chart, what it does is it shows us that these feelings are natural. And oftentimes there's a benefit. There can be a benefit to feeling these emotions. And so, like, for example, when I feel hurt, the benefit of that is it names woundedness, and I can start healing from there. But if it stays impaired, it turns into resentment. Sadness, the benefit of that, it values and honors what is present and missed in our lives. But the impairment of that is self-pity. And so, anger helps us to dare to tell the truth, to hear the truth, tell the truth, and it gives us an opportunity to have hope. But anger in the impairment means it turns into depression or perfectionism. And so being able to have a feelings chart sometimes can be beneficial in helping us identify the emotion and understand that there's a benefit for having that emotion. And it also helps us to manage them. So again, some ways to manage your emotions and deal with stress are deep breathing, taking those deep breathing from your diaphragm can help calm the nervous system. Practicing mindfulness, I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. I'm going to show kindness and compassion even when I think others may not deserve it, because the compassion, again, isn't necessarily for them, but it's for me so that I can have peace. Self-soothing, engage in things that comfort you, healthy things, not like me. Sometimes when I was really struggling, I would use food as comfort. But finding positive, healthy ways to self-soothe, which like taking a warm bath, listening to your favorite music, or my favorite now is reading the book. Oh, hello, Renee, and happy Friday. I love me some Renee Spencer. And of course, I speak about this every week, but exercise. Again, exercise helps relieve those endorphins in your brain that have mood boosting effects. I forgot the word. So when you're feeling stressed or frustrated and you're having a difficult time managing your emotions, take a walk. Take a walk. Go in the woods. Go somewhere, not woods, but go in your backyard and let out a scream. The opportunity to get that emotion out, to get that feeling out, and then it releases you, and now I can process it in a healthy way. I don't have to go cuss somebody out. I can yell out. I can get in deep. I can take a hot bath, take a moment to step back and think about what I really want to say, and then I can move in that emotion once I use my feelings charts and I identify it. Another way we deal with our emotional well-being is coping with challenges. Emotional well-being involves the resilience and the ability to navigate life's challenges and adapt to the change. It also means understanding that you have the right to express your needs and feelings clearly and respectfully without resorting to aggression or defensiveness. One of the things I've been told a lot, because I'm a person that speaks my mind, and I try to do it in a very much respectful way. I do. I try not to go into name calling and labeling, but I did really struggle, honestly, with when I would express myself, someone would say, well, you sound like you're angry. But then when you express yourself and you were yelling and spitting in my face and you weren't angry, you were expressing yourself. For women, particularly black women, when we express ourselves, we have to be careful that someone doesn't label us as angry. Ooh, you're angry because you're expressing yourself. No, I have a right to say how I feel. Part of managing and with my managing my well-being is I have to cope with the challenge of the labels that people put on us as women. Oh, well, you should just sit back and be quiet or just be grateful. No, I have a right, I have a divine right to be able to speak what's in my heart. As long as I'm doing it respectfully, just because you don't like what I'm saying doesn't make me mad. Just because you don't like the conversation doesn't mean I'm being disrespectful. One of the biggest challenges that women, again, have to overcome is that there's this, in which is the challenge to our emotional well-being, is we're often not given permission to be emotional. The minute you're emotional, or you are, and I shouldn't say emotional, but the minute you're expressing yourself, coping with the challenges, or you're too emotional. I can't talk to you, you're too emotional. No, I'm expressing how I feel, and I have a right, and I'm doing it calmly. Just because you're overwhelmed by my confidence and my ability to speak what I feel does not mean that what I say and how I'm saying it has any less value. Has anyone else dealt with that, or is it just me? That when you express yourself and you're coping with challenges and you're dealing with that emotion, you're staying centered in your emotional well-being, you're either angry or you're too emotional. Yeah. But I want us to understand that emotional well-being gives us the permission to express ourselves and our needs clearly without resorting to aggression or defensiveness. You have a right to say how you feel respectfully. And you have a right. No one has the right to tell you that you're too angry, you're too emotional. You have the right to express, because that's how you're going to get well-being. If you keep it locked up within you, then you're not expressing yourself. You're beating yourself up with the inability to be yourself and say what you really want and you feel. Positive outlook. A sense of optimism and purpose in life contributes to our overall well-being. If you walk into a situation thinking of the worst, you're not going to have emotional well-being. If every relationship you get into, if you walk into life looking for the negative, then you're going to experience the negative. Positive outlook means I'm looking for the best in every situation. I'm not now, before somebody jumps in my chat and tell me I'm telling folks to look at life through rose-colored glasses. No, I'm asking people to look at life through the lens of optimism. What is the best outcome that can happen here? When I started these Chill Spot chats, I didn't know if anybody would watch. I didn't know if anybody would even care. But I knew that in me, I had this desire to share my path, to share information, to let folks know that there's a sacred, safe place, even on social media, where we can have discussions and get knowledge and information that's going to help us become the best version of ourselves. Making that decision was a positive outlook. If I'm looking at it as, well, I don't get this many likes today, or nobody watched my show, then I'm defeating the purpose. That I'm doing it not because this is something that's birthed in me that I want to do. I'm doing it because I expect other people to like it. So the positive outlook means that my life, what I'm doing, contributes to my overall emotional well-being. That this show, my life and health coaching, all of those things contribute to make Tracy the best Tracy she can be. Because I have a positive outlook. Whether I have 10 clients or 1,000 clients, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to help people become the best version of ourselves. What is your positive outlook on life? What are you doing, and how are you manifesting that in your life to get that outlook for you? Or are you still looking at the negative, what I didn't do, what I missed out on? Next thing that helps with emotional well-being is healthy relationships. Strong, supportive relationships are crucial for emotional well-being. Healthy relationships involve honesty, trust, respect, and open communication between the partners, and they take effort and compromise on both parties. There is no imbalance of power. So a lot of times when we get in for emotional well-being, our feelings can be affected because sometimes we're in these dysfunctional, unhealthy relationships. We're friends with people, there's an imbalance of power. They do all the talking. Everything's always about them. Everything is circled around them. And the minute you try to make it, hey, I got issues and needs too, you're just being selfish. A balance of power means that that in the moments that it can be about you, but then there's moments where I can express myself in it. You're giving and taking just as much as the next person. But if someone's coming in your life and all they do is take, you know anybody like that? Everything is drama. Every time you look up, there's a crisis. Those things can be very draining, and it's an imbalance of power. Psychotherapist David Richo, in his book How to Be an Adult in Relationships, outlined that there are certain keys to mindful and healthy adult relationships. I'm reading that book because I'm going to have I'm doing a show on that coming up. And he refers to these elements of the 5 A's: attention, acceptance, appreciation, allowing, and affection. So when we have overall emotional well-being, we have supportive relationships that gives us that attention, that acceptance, that appreciation, that allow us to be the best version of ourselves, or even when we're at our worst. It's allowing and it's affectionate. Before you say, well, that's just about sexual relationships, that is in every relationship. If you're not able to be affectionate, and that does not just mean sexual, that means I can be loving, and I can receive love. I can say the words, I love you. I can tell Renee Spencer I love her because it's because I have a great affection for her. She's been my friend since kindergarten. We've been through mountains and valleys together. And there's plenty of attention, acceptance, and appreciation and allowing in those relationships. To be the best to have emotional well-being means that we have these relationships, these healthy relationships, not imbalance of power, that allows us to get that attention, acceptance, appreciation, allowing, and affection. If you're in relationships and you're not being able to get those, again, how's that going to impact your emotional well-being? Because now you're in a relationship where you don't feel like you're worthy of those things. And the last one is life satisfaction. Feeling content and happy with your life, including your work, relationships, work, and personal goals, is a significant aspect of emotional well-being. Because life satisfaction refers to an individual's overall assessment of their life and experiences and contentment. It's not a temporary thing. So when we talk about having emotional well-being and why life satisfaction is important, it's because you're able to look back in your life and go, yeah, I made some mistakes, but I'm very content with where I am. I was having this conversation with someone yesterday, and we were talking about just this very thing, about life satisfaction. I'm almost 60 years old. I'll be 59 in July. I'll be 60 next year. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm really happy, and I can look back over my life, and I've had missed opportunities just like anybody else, but I am really satisfied with my life. I'm very content. There's been ebbs and flows, but emotional well-being means whatever the past was, I've made peace with it. Life satisfaction says, and I am embracing what's to come, and I'm not looking back. That I'm satisfied with what the choices I've made, bad and good, and that I'm able to move forward. That's a key component with emotional well-being. Are you satisfied with your life? A lot of us are stuck in trying to repeat old behavior, because again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and think you're going to get a different result. When we're looking to meet that emotional well-being through life satisfaction, it's like I'm doing the thing I love. I'm surrounded with people who love me, and I love me. I feel like I'm a valued person in my own life and the life of others. If you're not having that feeling of life satisfaction, if you're still in that mindset of, well, I wish I had done this and I wish I had done that, okay, it may be too late to do some of those things, but you can start today. You can start developing that life satisfaction today. You don't have to wait another 2 or 3 years. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. If you want to pursue listen, I worked in nonprofit management for over 30 years. Life coaching came to me through one of my dearest and oldest friends, Carol. And when it was planted in my spirit, I went for it. Total life change. But I'm so much more happy for it. And I can look at my life through that lens of life satisfaction and go, that's one of the best decisions I ever made. Can you say that? Is there something in your life right now that you are missing out on that will bring that life satisfaction? That is a key component to your emotional well-being. Get to it. Jump in the chat and let me know what you think about the steps of what is emotional well-being, the steps to it. Again, I'm hopeful that I can somehow or another, I really want to get this feelings chart up somewhere where I can share it with you all, because I'm sorry. One more time. Okay. But I really want to share with y'all because, again, once we're able to identify our emotions, label it, we can see not only that that feeling has a benefit, but what happens when we stay in the negative, when we allow that emotion to become impaired. And so I want to give, it's 7:25, perfect timing. I want to give my 2 love notes. My first love note goes to a childhood class friend of mine. Her name is Sybil Pepper Spencer. Sybil and I have been friends forever, and I just love her. I love friends who do what I call the touch. They reach out and say, hey girl, how you doing? It's those kind of relationships that bring, again, that emotional well-being to your soul. It's just so nice to have people that you grew up with. It's, you know, it's hard to have lifelong childhood friends. I'm blessed. I have Renee and I have others, but I just love Sybil. She reaches out to me. She lets me know she appreciates the format and the things that I'm doing on my platform. So Sybil, love note to you. I want to let you know I appreciate you too. And my second love note goes to Carolyn Grossley. We have collaborated together in every job I think I've worked in nonprofits somehow or another. Carolyn and I work together. And she's just amazing, just the kindest heart. She has a heart for service and just was so wonderful to work with. I know she's retired now, but again, she's a great supporter of mine. She's always sending me, you know, likes and messages and just such an encourager to me. So Carolyn, I want to let you know I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. And good morning and love you too to Miss Frances Pratt. Thank you for joining me today. I love you both. And I love you and your daughter and your husband and your sons. I love all y'all. And today's reading comes from, again, one of my favorite book. You can tell. I love me some Bloomin' Bear. I love me some Morgan Richard Oliver. I'm still manifesting that one day she's going to come and read for us. Hold on to that. Today, her poem is Press On. Sometimes it's the memories of our past mistakes and pains and problems that makes us feel like we aren't good enough to move forward. Other times it's the opinion of the world that leads us to believe that we'll never find our true place in it. No matter what you feel, just remember that being stuck is that, a feeling. You are free to continue the journey without condemnation and insecurity. You are free to let go of the person you once were. Because the only thing in life that keeps you stuck is the belief that you always will be. Bloomin' Bear. And I want to thank you today for joining me. If you have topics or things that you want to cover, please send them to me. I do read my inboxes. Sometimes it takes me a while, but I do read them. I've got some great suggestions. Some of those things I'm not going to do. But I've gotten some great suggestions. But really for the month of June, we're going to be talking a lot about emotional well-being and relationships. So I hope you stay with me through this journey. And I want nothing, if you remember nothing else, know that you are worthy to be loved, have love, because you are love. Hope everybody has a great Friday and a great weekend. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.